Bedros, I love your videos, but is self-help content really just a type of porn to give you a cheap dopamine hit and make you feel like you did something? What should people actually be focused on?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we did a whole episode on this, and the episode on that topic is going to come out December 31st, 2024. However, is self-help in general mental masturbation or just a sexy thing for people to glom onto, feel a little bit of inspiration, motivation, and then go back to their normal life? For the most part, yes, it is. I'm not going to lie. Yes, it is. However, the reason is because self-help is not the act of gathering information. It's become that, and because we watch YouTube and we literally see David Goggins running, right? Doing the thing that's helping him. And then he talks about mental toughness, emotional discipline, and you should do hard shit. And as we're watching him and absorbing that content, we're like, yeah, I should do that. But then you don't wake up and do it, right? And so self-help works if you do it. If you're just gathering knowledge by reading books, watching videos, going through courses, even hiring a mentor or a therapist, but you don't do what your therapist says. Therapist says, let's say, for example, hey, next time you're halting, you're hungry, angry, lonely, tired, and you're going to get triggered. Instead of drinking, consider going out on a nature walk, right? And then you're like, boom, 4 days later, I'm halting, I'm hungry, I'm lonely, I'm angry, or I'm tired. Therapist said I should go on a nature walk. That's the information he gave me. But my habit is to go back to alcohol. So then this fool goes back to alcohol and doesn't take the action that we need to. Right. Well, it's not that the therapist's information, self-help information didn't work. It's because you didn't take action on it. So self-help is mental masturbation and just cheap dopamine hits when you're gathering information. But if you just start taking action on it and actually getting after it, doing the work, the workouts, the nutrition, sending out the 3 gratitude text messages a day like I do every single morning, doing all the things that you need to do, self-help creates a massive transformation, like a monumental transformation in people's mindsets. And you create new neural pathways where you develop new and better habits for yourself that make you a better human. Yeah.
I never talked about this with you, but have you ever felt like you have been in that position before where you would read a lot of books or listen to people online or on the radio or whatever, self-help for yourself, obviously long before you became who you are today, but have you ever felt like that where you would listen to that stuff and then you would never really acted on it? It kind of was just a feel-good kind of thing, or have you?
Yeah, I have, simply because, and we've talked about on the show, Jim Franco, my first mentor, right? So I was 22, 23 years old when I met him. And he was like, hey man, here's some books you got to read, right? To become a better salesman. And then he'd ask me, did you read the books yet? I'm like, not yet. Did you listen to the audio cassette that I gave you? Because there was no audio books yet in terms of download stream. There was MP3s, it was audio cassettes with tapes. No, not yet. So, and then when I would read them, I wouldn't take action on it. So I think there is almost a transition that takes place. First, we gather the information, we have the books, we bought the courses, because just yesterday I saw a comment on my YouTube, on a YouTube episode. I bought your book. I've had it for 3 weeks. I have yet to read it yet. Can't wait to start reading it in the new year, right? And I was like, bro, you bought a self-help book. Yeah. Probably got inspired and motivated to buy it. Maybe saw it somewhere, right? Somebody's talked about it somewhere. He got inspired and motivated to buy it. So first we get inspired and motivated. So then we get the thing, and then it sits there on a nightstand or on our phone for a while. And then we might even listen to the thing or watch the thing or read the thing and then don't act on it. So that's another period of time. And then we finally act on the thing when the pain is great enough. What if you can just get the thing and act on the thing and just bypass the whole sitting and waiting period? Right. That's when self-help is no longer mental masturbation and dopamine hits. It actually becomes an effective tool of change and transformation. Hey guys, quick interruption to the Bedros Keuilian Show. I took some time to go to the local juice stores here in town, and I bought all these different ginger, turmeric, and wellness shots. Now, they range anywhere from $3.69 all the way to $4.05. And to be honest with you, they all suck. Why? Because they do not have anywhere near the wonderful ingredients of the Truline wellness Wellness Shot. First of all, to build your immune system and keep your immune system strong, Truline Wellness Shot is packed with vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc. And also to help you fight off inflammation, it is packed with turmeric, ginger, and black pepper. And to keep you hydrated, Truline Wellness Shots have sodium, potassium, and magnesium. This is the ultimate morning supplement. Just take one packet, pour it in 4 ounces of water, and shoot it, and you're good to go. Best of all, $1.69 per packet instead of twice the price of those other inferior ones. I want you to get 50% off your first 30-day supply. So go to Truline.com, use my name Bedros, and you can get 50% off plus free shipping, a 30-day money-back guarantee, and $1 gets donated to Shriners Children's Hospital. Best of all, if you like the Truline Wellness Shots, and I know you will, like thousands of other people who are part of the Truline tribe, every month we'll send you a new supply at 20% off, free shipping. So go to Truline.com, use my name Bedros, and get your 50% discount code before it goes away. Back to the show.
Last thing I kind of want to ask you this is, I felt like this a couple weeks ago, where I'm usually pretty good at, whenever you give me advice or I listen to somebody online or whatever that's in the space, I'm like, all right, cool. They gave me the answer. Here's what I got to do. I pivot and do this. But I noticed the other day, I was listening to something. It was somebody talking about how to, grow your YouTube channel, right? And the information was so good. I was driving when I was listening to it in the car, and like you're spaced out. It's almost like your eyes start.
Yeah.
You're like not paying attention. It was so good. It was almost like I just wasn't even paying attention anymore. Like, and it was nothing to do with the video. The video was fire. Probably one of the best videos I had heard, because she was giving you actual things to do. Here's what you got to do with your titles. Here's what you got to do with the file. You got to rename the file so that it matches with the SEO, the keywords, whatever. And she was giving some serious game. And I caught myself and I was like, why did I just stop listening? It wasn't like I was just paying attention to something else or my thoughts were distracted. I just kind of phased out, right? And I was wondering, I wonder. No, that's why I'm trying to, it's almost like therapy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm sure other people go through that, where maybe they listen to you and they're like, they screenshot, hey, I'm listening to B. I'll tag them on IG so people know I listen to this. But they're not really paying attention like that,
Yeah. I'm going to take a stab at it, and I bet you I'm accurate. Like Andrew Huberman can probably explain the science behind it, but I'm going to explain what is happening in our brain. We know, for example, that if I take you to the gym and I only have you lift heavy weights where you're doing sets of 2 to 4 reps each, where you can't do a 5th rep, you can't do a 3rd rep, like I'm having you lift heavy, right? You're going to get strong, but you won't look muscularly big. On the flip side, especially if I do that for an extended period of time, right? Months, you're going to get very strong, but we're conditioning your muscles to be strong, but not big. That's the powerlifting programs. Or we take you to the gym for several months and we have you do a rep range of, let's say, 10 to 15 reps per set using weight where 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 reps are hard to do. That's the conditioning the muscle to be bigger, but not necessarily super strong. And so if we know that of the body, and we can then say that is the same for the brain. If you look at movies, Pulp Fiction comes to mind, or any great movie from the 80s and 90s, right? You look at a great movie from the 80s and 90s, there was so much dialogue. It wouldn't cut from one scene to the next next every 6 seconds like there is today. Today, movies, whether it's the Avengers or drama or horror movie, it's every 2.5 to 6 seconds, there's a cut.
Yeah.
It's there to keep your attention. Before, movies were, dialogue could be 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes long in a whole scene, right? And then they cut, and then another 3-5 minute scene, and then they cut. And so we see that with social media as well. It went from being 60 minutes long, or it was just YouTube before, right? Where it was just long form content,
right.
2-3 hour videos. And then it went to 20-minute videos. And then it went to 30-second clips and 60-second clips. And TikTok and Instagram has conditioned our mental muscles to only digest in bite-sized pieces and not be able to stay locked in and focused long enough. And so because of that, even though the content is fire, your brain is conditioned to just pay attention for a finite amount of time, and then it mentally changes the channel, even though the content on your phone has not changed.
Yeah.
And so you're like, oh, fuck, I spaced out. It's I spaced out.
Right.
And so we have to go back and listen.
Yeah.
The solve for that is to actually read a book for an extended period of time, watch movies, don't have long cuts. Like, do those things that do not condition your brain to lose focus quickly, and you will retrain your brain to pay attention for longer periods of time. Focus, right? Yeah. Otherwise, we start losing our ability to control our impulses once we can't have focus, and then our brain is literally like a ping pong ball bouncing around in our head. And we're like, fuck, man, I know what I listened to was good for me, but I can't retain the knowledge because it was more than 60 seconds long, and I have to go listen to it in bite-sized pieces. And that's a scary thing, man. It begins to reprogram your brain to, and I believe years down the line, mark my words, we'll come back to this 10, 15 years down the line to this episode or to this Q&A, you'll see that that was a precursor to dementia and Alzheimer's and things like that, because we start losing, like, young kids are already starting to have like dementia-like symptoms. They can't remember. I go to Starbucks, bro. I go to Starbucks and I'm like, I'll have a grande, whatever, cold brew with this and that and the other, plus this sandwich and that sandwich, right? By the time I name the third sandwich, they're like, it happens almost every time at any Starbucks. Like, wait, I'm sorry, what was it?
Slow down.
Yeah, and it's because it's this generation that's been, you know, grown up on social media, and they just need little bite-sized chunks of information. They can't remember one coffee and 2 sandwiches. It's too much.